Hi everyone, my name is Tony Grillo. My channel here is Wisconsin Hugs, where I tell the best stories about my real life from Facebook. And I thought I would start this video a little differently with a quote from Matthew 5:16. Let your light shine before others so that they may see your good works and give glory to your Father who is in heaven. And no, most of you don't know me personally, but I am definitely not a saint. I believe in God, and I have my stories in here about that. But one of the great things about Matthew is I did teach uh, Bible history, and Matthew, I don't know if you know anything about him, but he wrote one of the four Gospels. But he was also before he became a disciple, he was a tax collector, and he worked for the Roman government, collecting. The Romans occupied Israel at that time, and he was collecting the taxes for the Roman government, and so he was not very well liked in Israel, and in fact, he was hated and despised, and Matthew invited Jesus to his house, and he had a big party going on, and Jesus accepted the invitation. And there's a part in there where Peter was like, what are you doing, Jesus? How can you, why would you go to that evil man's place? And Jesus said, well, doctors don't hang around healthy people. you know and he just had such a great way of answering a question. And I don't know, there was a movie out there where uh, there's a scene where he's sitting with Matthew, and Peter is like hiding behind a door, and Peter looks kind of ticked off, about the whole thing, doesn't want to be there. And I don't know if this really happened in the Bible or not, but the way the movie did it was, Matthew asked Jesus to tell a story, and Jesus told a story about the prodigal son. And while he was telling that story, I don't know if you all know what the story of the prodigal son is, but anyways, it's about a rich man. He has a son, and the son wants his inheritance now, and then he goes out and he blows it all, and he's penniless, and he's stealing corn from the pig troughs of the farmer he works for, and he gets run out of there, and finally he just decides to come home because he's hungry, starving, and penniless. And when his father sees him, his father actually doesn't walk but runs to greet him at the gate, and throws a big party. And the other children, it was the youngest son that did that, and the other children, or the other sons, are like, well, why does he get a party? He did what he wasn't supposed to do. But while he was telling that story, they panned the camera over to where Peter was, and Peter could tell that Jesus was implying that Matthew might be the prodigal son, and that Jesus was trying to get him to come back. And Matthew was so impressed with Jesus that he gave up all his wealth, he abandoned his home, and he followed Jesus and took up the cross in the end, which is such a great story. And he wrote the gospel here, and he has one of the greatest quotes that is in the Bible right here. And here, I thought I'd show you this picture. This is a picture of DJ. He's my dog. We have a lot of adventures. We do a lot of hiking, and sometimes we bump into some really neat people. Here's another picture of him. He's a Bichon. I've had him for about 3 years now, and I had a Bichon as a kid, and found him at the dog pound, and couldn't resist grabbing him. He was so dang cute. And so anyways, get to the post here, because Oops, I went too far. But anyways, so this post was August 1st, 2020. And something funny happened tonight during my evening hike with my dog. I saw this younger couple. They were walking the trail just ahead of me. As I got closer, I overheard them talking, and from the conversation, I immediately knew this was a first date. And the young man is floundering and doesn't quite know what to say. He's nervous and lacking some confidence. I see this beautiful young lady standing next to him, isn't even paying him any attention. She has that bored look on her face I've seen on a few of my dates that aren't going well. She looks at her phone and says, "Yeah, I should probably leave now," and I realize this young man needs help. Now, I've actually taken a few first dates on this very trail because the bluff on Lake Michigan is absolutely gorgeous, but she's not paying it any attention. And I see he's wearing a marathon shirt. He obviously wore that hoping to impress her and was striking out instead. So, using my tough guy looks and using my very serious tough guy voice, I asked the young man, "You run marathons?" And now I got her attention. She isn't looking at that phone anymore. She's probably like wondering, who's this strange guy that's talking to us? He says, "Yes." "What was your time?" He rattles it off. I'm a full head taller than either of them, and I say the guy in all seriousness, "That's a great time. With that physique, I bet you could kick my ass." Now the girl has no idea what's going on here. Then I throw a future idea at him and I say, volunteer fire department's always looking for guys like you. You might want to think about joining someday. And then I said, "Have a great night, you two." I now notice the girl is seeing this young man in a totally different light, and she's smiling at him. It's like she's now seeing him for the great guy I already saw. And I wink at him with the eyes she can't see, and the look in his eyes was one of pure gratitude. He was thanking me big time, or maybe thanking God for sending him some help. All I know is that she put away her phone and had no interest in leaving the hiking trails anymore. They were talking to each other as they went on their way. And I looked at my dog wagging its tail and said, "Good job, DJ. Good night to all of you. And have a great day, and love you all. Wisconsin hugs."